What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into the stuff that keeps us all up at night, checking our bank accounts and figuring out how to explain another purchase to the spouse. We're talking about the hottest new releases for November 2025. This month has been absolutely wild for the gun community. We've seen everything from budget-friendly wheel guns that actually make sense, all the way up to high-tech, hybrid frame engineering marvels. These aren't just fresh coats of paint on old models, we're seeing legitimate game changers that are shifting how we look at carry and competition. Trust me, you do not want to miss what is at the top of this list. It is a serious piece of hardware. But before we start the countdown of the top 5 guns dropping this November, do me a huge favor. Smash that like button. Let me know in the comments what you're carrying today, and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss a review. Your support is what keeps the lights on and the ammo flowing. All right, let's get down to business. Kicking off our list at number 5, we're going to stir the pot a little bit. We have the Taurus 817. I know what some of you are thinking. It's 2025. Why are we talking about a revolver? Here is the reality. The wheel gun isn't dead, and Taurus just proved why. They have managed to balance size, power, and practicality in a way that actually makes this a contender for everyday carry. The 817 is chambered in 38 Special plus P. That means you are getting legitimate defensive stopping power, but because the frame has a little bit of stainless steel heft to it, it doesn't feel like a stick of dynamite going off in your hand. We've all shot those ultralight snub noses that feel like they're trying to break your wrist, right? This isn't that. It's got a 2-inch barrel, so it disappears under a shirt, but it's shootable. Here is the big selling point, though: capacity. Most revolvers in this size class are 5 shooters. The 817 gives you a 7-round cylinder. That is 2 extra rounds of get-off-me insurance. In a high-stress situation, that math matters. Ergonomically, Taurus put a rubber grip on this thing that fills the palm nicely. It absorbs that recoil impulse, so you can actually get back on target for a follow-up shot. Plus, it gives you the option of double action for defense, just point and squeeze, or single action if you want to take a precision shot at the range. Look, this isn't a $2,000 race gun, but for the price, you're getting a reliable stainless steel workhorse with 7 rounds on board. No magazines to lose, no safeties to fumble. If you want a truck gun or deep concealment piece that won't break the bank, the 817 earns its spot here. Moving up to number 4, let's talk about a surprise hit: the Bersa M2XI. For a long time, Bersa was the brand you bought because you wanted a Walther PPK vibe but didn't want to pay James Bond prices. But with the M2XI, they have officially stepped into the big leagues of modern, striker-fired pistols. This thing has been turning heads all month, and for good reason. The headline here is modularity. We've seen this with the Sig P211 and the Echelon, but rarely at this accessible price point. The M2XI uses a removable fire control unit, or FCU. That little chassis is the legal gun. That means you can swap out grip modules, slide lengths, and barrel configurations without buying a whole new firearm. That is huge for shooters on a budget who want one gun that can do 3 different jobs. In the hand, it feels surprisingly premium. You've got interchangeable backstraps to dial in the fit, and the stippling on the grip is gritty enough to lock your hands in when they're sweaty, but it won't sand off your skin during a long-range day. Performance-wise, I was genuinely impressed. The trigger is crisp, the reset is short and tactile. You can feel and hear it, which makes those double taps way easier. It comes optics ready right out of the box, so you can slap a red dot on it immediately. Plus, with forward slide serrations and a sleek profile, it just looks good. In a market where prices are skyrocketing, the Bersa M2XI is proof that you don't need to spend a mortgage payment to get a modular, optics-ready 9mm that runs like a sewing machine. Coming in at number 3, we have the evolution of a legend, the Smith & Wesson Shield X. If you've been carrying concealed for more than a week, you know the Shield. It's been the gold standard for reliable, slim carry guns for over a decade. But the game has changed, and with the Shield X, Smith & Wesson is clapping back at the competition. At first glance, it looks familiar, that classic S&W polymer styling. But the moment you pick it up, you realize this is a different animal. This is built to compete with the high-capacity micro-compacts dominating the market right now. The biggest upgrade? Capacity. The old single-stack days are gone. The Shield X uses a new staggered stack magazine design that fits 12+1 rounds of 9mm into a frame that is still incredibly thin. You are getting compact-level firepower in a gun that vanishes under a t-shirt. And of course, it's 2025, so the slide comes cut for micro red dots. No adapter plates raising the Optic to the moon. It sits low, allowing you to co-witness with the high-visibility night sights that come standard. Let's talk texture. Smith & Wesson dialed in the grip here. It's aggressive, like really locks into your calluses, but they smoothed it out on the sides where it touches your skin while carrying. That is a thoughtful touch for those of us who carry inside the waistband all day. The trigger is also cleaned up. It's got a cleaner break and a much faster reset than the previous generations. Basically, the Shield X is Smith & Wesson looking at the P365 and the Hellcat and saying, we can do that, and we can do it with that classic Shield reliability. If you want a no-nonsense carry gun from a brand that has been doing it forever, this is the one. Now, getting into the heavy hitters. At number 2, we have the Springfield Armory Echelon 4 0C Compact. When the original Echelon dropped, it was a big deal. It wasn't just another polymer pistol, it was a duty-grade system built around a serialized chassis. Now, with the 4.0C Compact, Springfield has shrunk that platform down into what might be the perfect do-it-all size. This thing is rocking a 4-inch barrel. For me, that is the sweet spot. It's short enough to clear a holster quickly and conceal easily, but you still get enough sight radius and velocity to reach out and touch targets at distance. It holds 15 rounds of 9mm flush, which is exactly what you want in a modern carry gun. But the real magic here, and the reason it's number 2, is the Variable Interface System, or VIS. If you hate optic plates as much as I do, you are going to love this. The slide has a unique pin system that lets you mount almost any footprint, Trigicon, Hollow Sun, loopholed, directly to the slide. That means your optic sits lower, your cheek weld is better, and there are fewer screws to strip or rattle loose. Springfield also gets bonus points for shipping this with a factory-threaded barrel. Whether you want to run a suppressor or one of those micro comps that are so popular right now, you are ready to go out of the box. The ergonomics are fantastic. The undercut on the trigger guard lets you get a really high grip, which helps mitigate muzzle flip, and the controls are fully ambidextrous. At a price point between $719 and $739, you are getting a ton of features that usually cost way more. It's reliable, it's customizable, and it shoots flat. And finally, taking the number 1 spot on our list, this is the one that has everyone talking. The Sig Sauer P211 GTO. This isn't just a handgun, this is a statement piece. Sig designed the GTO to be the ultimate crossover between a tactical duty weapon and a match-grade competition gun. And honestly, they nailed it. The first thing you notice when you pick it up is the balance. It feels different. That is because of the hybrid polymer steel frame system. Instead of being all plastic, it uses a reinforced steel subframe. This adds rigidity and just enough weight to soak up recoil, but it keeps the gun light enough to carry on a duty belt. When you shoot this thing, the recoil impulse is incredibly smooth. The slide tracks flat, and the dot barely leaves the window. Speaking of shooting, let's talk about the trigger. It's a factory-tuned, flat-faced system that feels like it came out of a custom shop. The break is like snapping a glass rod, and the reset is almost instant. If you are chasing tight groups or fast splits, this trigger feels like cheating. Capacity is massive, 17+1 standard with extended mags available. The slide serrations are deep and aggressive, perfect for press checks even if you're wearing gloves or your hands are wet. And obviously, it's optics ready with a direct mount cut and suppressor height night sights. We also have to talk about reliability. Sig has tortured this platform. Mud, dust, sand, the P211 GTO just eats it up. So, why is it number one? Because it represents the peak of what we can do with handgun technology in 2025. It's durable enough for war, accurate enough for matches, and cool enough to make your buddies jealous at the range. Yes, it carries a premium price tag, but once you rack that slide and feel the engineering, you'll understand why.
There you have it, the top 5 firearms dropping in November 2025. From the budget-friendly reliability of the Taurus wheel gun, all the way to the absolute engineering marvel of that Sig P211, it is a massive month for the 2A community. But I want to hear from you guys. Would you actually carry a 7-shot revolver over the new Shield X? Or are you saving your pennies for that Sig GTO? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, crush that like button, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe and train hard.